The 12th canto.
Okay, we'll look at it 1 minute. Setting.
The 12th canto.
Okay, we'll look at it one. All right, so this is, then, O king, religion, truthfulness, cleanliness, tolerance, mercy, duration of life. Physical strength and memory will all diminish day by day because of the powerful influence of the age of Kali. And does it say the man how much age it will be? Doesn't say in this verse, but duration of life will reduce. Yeah.
Yeah, in this chapter only it says maximum age will 50 years.
50 years. So we'll be dead and gone by 50. So let me teach this Vedic knowledge. Yeah. Text 11 says that. So let me teach. So we have short-lived memory, less intelligence, not very sharp. There's a verse, right? Prayana alpa ayusha sabya kalavasmin yuge jana. These are all described in the Bhagavatam. Our life will be short, and as the age progresses, because also the food we are eating, everything is mixed up, right? It's not pure. It's all, and there is so much stress, and the nature of the age is also like that. So that's why many times people don't believe that we lived for 10,000 years or 1,000 years. Because so when they are living 50 years, if you tell them that previously people used to live 100 years, then they will not believe. Like now, if somebody says, "Oh, he lived for 200 years," we'll say, "No, no. Who lives for 200 years?" So it is all based on the age. So we should not think all this is mythology, because we are in different time and we have no experience of other ages. So that's why many people think it is mythology. So he said, because all the disqualifications are there, therefore let me teach this Vedic knowledge in writing. And so he was dictating the Vedas, and who was writing? Ganesh was writing. And what did Ganesh make? Some condition, right? He said, I will write, you have to write continuously. And there was some condition made by Ganesh that Vedvyas says, whatever you write, you have to understand and then write, something like that. And then Ganesh was writing all the Vedic knowledge. So he divided the Vedas into four: Rig, Sam, Atharva, and Yajur. Then he gave the charge of these Vedas to his different disciples. So he gave everyone one disciple. He then thought of the less intelligent class of men, Stri, Shudra, and Vijabandhu. So this point often comes up. Oh, Stri is less intelligent. Um, Shudra, in this age, everybody is born a Shudra. So whether you're man or woman, Kalau Sambhava Shudra. Why? Why is that? We are born as Shudras. Let me ask, I'll ask Charuta, why it is said that we are born as Shudras in this age.
Sure.
Let's ask Alankar.
I don't know, Prabhu, theoretically or what scripture says, but it seems like, this is the age of degradation, right? And I think one of the symptoms of that is to serve others or do something what other wants and not doing something for the highest benefit.
Yeah, but by birth, why it is considered? What happens before birth?
Oh,
Because
Garbhadan
Garbha
Samskar.
Sanskar.
So Prabhupada writes like that. Because Garbhadan Sanskar is not observed. Like, so that's why we are considered like Shudra. Garbhadan Sanskar are the sanskars are observed before the child is born. What did Prabhupada say? We'll ask Preeti. What did Prabhupada say about Garbhadan sanskar?
Yeah, we attract the good souls who is interested in devotion.
Okay, so what is to be done as part of Garbhadan sanskar?
So it say that we have to chant 50 rounds.
50 rounds of the Maha Mantra. Prabhupada gave like that. Of course, there's so many things, other things I don't know, but Alankar Prabhu, who observed Garbhadan sanskar, can tell us other details of Garbhadan sanskar.
There is a manual by His Holiness Radhanath Maharaj, so that also gives a good explanation. I mean, of course, 50 rounds is minimum, but more the better. And then a lot of deity worship, reading, and yeah, I mean, preaching. Basically whatever your consciousness you want, to have in your children.
Okay. All right. So, yeah, that's why we are called Kalau Sambhava. Appearance in Kali Yuga is Shudra, like that. So, therefore, let me teach this Vedic knowledge in writing. So, and he gave, okay. So, Stri, Shudra, and Dvija Bandhu. So, everybody is Shudra. Less intelligent class of men, Stri, Shudra, and Dvija Bandhu. Dvija Bandhu means, of course, Prabhupada says nobody is less intelligent if they take up Krishna consciousness. Dvija Bandhu. We don't want to go in that aspect why women are considered less intelligent and all that. There's so many. So, and Dvija Bandhu means one who is born. Let's ask who is there. Hartford Bhakti Vriksha. What is the meaning of Dvija Bandhu? Who is Hart? What is your name? Hartford Bhakti Vriksha is.
Oh, this is Sita Vallavi. I
Okay.
didn't change. I use different device, so I
Okay.
didn't change my name. I don't know, Prabhu.
Dvija means, let's ask Madan Mohini Mataji. Dvija. What is the meaning of Dvija?
Not sure, Prabhu.
Ja means what?
Born.
Twice
Second
born.
born. Second born. So Brahman.
Dvi means twice. Two. And Ja means Janma. So again born. You are born one time by your biological mother and father. And then the second birth is by when you
Yes.
get transcendental knowledge. Without that, everybody is like an animal, right? So your father, mother can also give you transcendental knowledge. It doesn't have to be like anybody. But Dvija Bandhu means you are twice born when you get transcendental knowledge. That's the main. And Bandhu means the friend, right? Bandhu. So Dvija Bandhu means a friend of the Brahmana. Basically, literally, it translates like that. So we'll see what Prabhupada says. He considers the woman class and Shudra class as Dvija Bandhu and Dvija Bandhu. Dvija Bandhu refers to those who are born in a high family but who are not properly qualified. So I may have very good parents, but I am not very proper. I am not qualified properly. So he's born in a high family, but who are not properly qualified. A man who is born in the family of a Brahmana, but is not qualified as a Brahmana, is called Dvija Bandhu, who was very elevated in the Shastra, but his son was a rogue. Any?
Ashwatthama and Dronacharya.
Yeah.
Yeah, Ashwatthama was like that. Dronacharya was the
I think that king
Vena.
Vena.
Anga is the father.
Anga is the father.
Anga is the father, and Vena. Vena was a rascal thief. Prabhupada says like that. So normally, good parents should give birth to good children, right? Then, and we also have this.
Prahlad.
Prahlad was a result of bad father, but good son. So we can't say always that Prahlad Maharaj's son, Virochan, right, was bad. So Prahlad Maharaj was good, then how his son was a demon? Prahlad Maharaj is a Mahajan. How do you explain that?
Because of association, bad association.
Virochan had bad association.
Yeah. Bali Maharaj's son also, Banasur, got bad association. And the
Narkasura.
Narakasur, yeah.
Yeah, so anybody who is even low born can become very high class if they have good association, and anybody who's high class born can get bad if they have bad association. So everything depends on association. And our past karma also, past conditioning also. So Dvija Bandha refers to those who are born in a high family but who are not properly qualified. A man who is born in the family of Brahmana but is not qualified is called not qualified as a Brahmana but is called Dvija Bandhu. So again, in the Bhagavad Gita, Krishna says that all the qualification is by what? Let's ask Sridhar Priya Prabhu. The qualification is by what? What are the two things by which one is qualified?
Our karma, Prabhuji.
Karma and
Karma and so based on the karma, we qualify as a Brahmana, Shudra, or Vaishya.
yeah, karma. Of course, karma is dependent on the qualities that we have. Guna and karma,
Yes,
not by janma.
right.
It is described as, what is that verse? Chaturvarnam
Chaturvarna maya shishtam guna karma vibhagasha.
karma vibhagasha. Vibhag means the divisions are based on guna and karma. So you can be born in Shudra family, but you can be a Brahmana. So for these persons, he compiled the Mahabharata, called the History of India and the 18 Puranas. So Prabhupada is saying he compiled for the less intelligent class of people, Stri, Shudra and Dvija Bandhu. He compiled the Mahabharata and the 18 Puranas. These are all part of the Vedic literature. The Puranas, the Mahabharata, the four Vedas, and the Upanishads. So we have Shruti and Smriti. So under Smriti, all these Puranas and they come. Under Shruti comes the Vedas and the Upanishads. The Upanishads are part of the Vedas. Then Vyasdev summarized all the Vedic knowledge for scholars and philosophers in what is called Vedanta Sutra. So he gave like quotes, sutras. This is the last word of the Veda. So he finished. After doing the Vedanta Sutra, he finished. So some people had a problem. If you study the history, there was a king by the name Jai Singh, and he was very attached to he was in Jaipur, and he was very attached to the Gaudiya philosophy. But there was a group of people called the Ramanandis who were like followers of Ramanujacharya, and they wanted special favor from the king. So when Govinda Dev moved to Jaipur, and Jai Singh was very much like, inclined towards the Gaudiyas, the Ramanandis did not like it and say they tried to find fault with the Gaudiyas because they wanted the king to favor them. So then they started saying that, oh, Gaudiyas are not bona fide. There's a whole article about this. We can maybe next time discuss the whole history. So Gaudiya, Ramanandi started saying to Jai Singh that, they don't have a commentary on the Vedanta Sutra. Like, Ramanujacharya has written a commentary on the Vedanta Sutra. Shankaracharya has a commentary on the Vedanta Sutra called the Sharirik Bhasya. But the Gaudiyas, they don't have a commentary. on the Vedanta Sutra. So they are not bona fide and they are worshipping Radha and Krishna, and Radha is not married to Krishna. So at one point, Radharani was separated from Govind Dev. Like that. There's a whole history. There's an article about this. And so they were objecting. So Lakshmi Narayan is all right. Lakshmi Narayan worship is okay because Lakshmi and Narayan, they are in marriage relationship, or Sita Ram is okay. But this Radha Krishna worship is not bona fide. They don't have a commentary on the Vedanta Sutra. So they were trying to discredit the Gaudiyas because they wanted favor of the king. And then comes this, who comes?
Baldev Vidyabhushan.
Baldev Vidyabhushan. Yeah. Vishwanath Chakravarti Thakur. So Jai Singh went to Vrindavan. He was very attached to Vrindavan, Jai Singh, and he met all the Gaudiya Vaishnavas that time. So Baldev Vidyabhushan, then he came and he wrote a commentary on the Vedanta Sutra. There are so many Vedanta Sutras. What are the Vedanta Sutra? Some of you can tell what is one of the Vedanta Sutra. What is it?
Janmadi Yasya.
Janmadi Yasya. And then famous
Anavriti Shabdat.
Anavriti Shabdat. Then
Athato Brahma Jigyasa.
Athato Brahma Jigyasa. These are all the Vedanta Sutras. Yeah. So
Aham Brahmasmi is also.
yeah, there is a whole list. I think there are more than 300 or even more Vedanta Sutras. So they are like sutra, means like little short. So they don't have any commentary. So then Baldev Vidyabhushan came and he wrote the commentary. That's why in Bhagavad Gita you see Prabhupada is dedicated, right? In the beginning, if you see, it is dedicated to Baldev Vidyabhushan, who wrote his Govinda Bhashya. So he wrote a commentary called the Govinda Bhashya on the Vedanta Sutra in a matter of like maybe days, sitting before Radha Govinda, and he wrote a commentary.
It was spoken by Govinda, that's why it's called Govind Bhashya.
Govinda Bhashya, yes. And then he was writing, so Govinda personally. So then that then finally, Gaudiyas were recognized and things happened like that. So there's a whole, because the Gaudiyas did not write a commentary on the Vedanta Sutra because they thought Srimad Bhagavatam is the natural commentary. It is elaborating on, if you see the first verse, Janmadi yasya yataha anvayadi tarasta arteshu abhigna swarat tene brahmari dayadi gavay. So first verse of the Bhagavatam is starting with Janmadi yasya yataha. And then it is Janmadi yasya yataha means the absolute truth is that from which everything is coming. Janma adi. Everything is coming from the absolute truth. And who is that absolute truth? That is described in Janmadi. Artheshu abhignasvara tene brahma hridayadi kavaya muhyanti yat suraya. Like that he says that he is swarat and he is cognizant and he imparted this knowledge to Brahma, the Adi Kavi, in his heart. So that is Krishna. Okay. So Vyasdev personally wrote the Vedanta Sutra under the instruction of Narada, his Guru Maharaj, spiritual master, but still he was not satisfied. Okay, we will ask Hansa Raju. So she can tell us why.
Could you clarify who you mean by Hamsa Raju?
I don't know. So Hansa Mataji can tell us why Vyasdev was not satisfied after everything, writing all the Vedanta Sutra. Do you know why?
Hare Krishna Prabhu.
Yeah, why Vyasdev was not satisfied after writing all the Vedic scriptures? He had written all the 4 Vedas,
Yeah.
many Puranas he has written, but still he was not experiencing satisfaction.
Maybe it was like too many books creating confusion, so that's why he wanted to compile one book and make it easier.
Yeah,
That's
but
what I think, yeah.
yeah, for the people, yeah, it may have been confusing, but he himself was not satisfied. So, yeah, What is the reason? Let's ask Janish.
Yeah, it was missing the element of bhakti.
It was missing the element of bhakti, pure bhakti to the Supreme Lord, and the pastimes of the Supreme Lord and all that. So all this was not described. So we say like this: if the author himself was not satisfied, then how we can be satisfied? Reading all this Rig Veda, Sam Veda, Yajur Veda, Atharva Veda, will not be satisfied. So what did then he write?
It was because other scriptures had too many procedure to follow, like religious procedures. Is that?
Yeah, because there was a lot of you do worship this demigod, then you get this
Yeah.
result. So it was like a business transactional relationship. But the soul cannot be satisfied with transactional relationships. The jiva can only be satisfied with pure loving relationships. Like in this world also, we have our employer, right? But we are not like in love with the employer. It's a transactional relationship because he's giving us money and we are working for him. There is no real, like it's a business relationship. So all this worship of demigods, you want the good son, then you worship this, and all this was described. But he did not describe the real, like loving relationship between the soul and the Supreme Lord in pure love and how to attain that pure love. So he did not describe all the pure devotees and the pastimes of Krishna in great detail and the highest thing. He just catered to everybody's needs. So that's why he was not satisfied. He was feeling that something is missing. I did not give the highest thing. But he could not, I mean, he knew he's the Supreme Personality of God incarnation. But Narad Muni came and told him that this is what you have done, but you have not described. So if the author was not satisfied, sometimes we give this argument that if the author was not satisfied himself, then how we can be satisfied with all these others? So the really satisfaction will come when we love the Lord without any condition, without any motivation. And that is called pure devotional service, which Bhagavatam will say, right? That Savai Pumsam Paro Dharmo Yato Bhakti Radokshije Ahetukya Pratihata Ye Atma Suprasidati. So we will be satisfied only by this. Other things will not satisfy. So that is why he wrote the Srimad Bhagavatam. Vedvyas was not very satisfied even after compiling many Puranas. So he had compiled 18 Puranas. Bhagavatam is one of the 18 Puranas. But he had in that Bhagavatam, he had not directly mentioned. So he modified it. And he included all the aspects of pure devotional service in it. And Upanishads, even after writing the Vedanta Sutra. Then his spiritual master Narada instructed him, you explain the Vedanta Sutra. Vedanta means ultimate knowledge. Veda means knowledge and Anta means end of knowledge. So what is we sometimes people say so many things, they speak so many words. So what do we say? Can you please tell the gist of what essence? Yeah, don't speak too many words. Just tell me the essence of everything. Just boil down to the what. Sometimes, people ask question and there is a big worded question. So many words they will speak. And so the speaker may say, can you cut to the chase? Can you just tell me what exactly is your question? Don't speak too many words. In the Chaitanya Charitamrita also it is said, essential truth spoken concisely is
true eloquence.
true eloquence. Yes. Essential truth spoken concisely, very clearly. No beating around the bush like this. So, of course, sometimes we have to explain our situation. So we tell so many things. But what is the essence of everything? The essence of everything is to attain God's love. All this knowledge ultimately, all the knowledge is ultimately meant to culminate in bhakti to the Supreme Lord. So if that is not there, then all this knowledge has not achieved its purpose. So Vedanta means ultimate knowledge, and the ultimate knowledge is Krishna. Krishna says that throughout all the Vedas, one has to understand him. Vedesha sarver aham eva vedya. Krishna also says Vedanta krit veda videva chaham. Then why not write directly the Bhagavatam? Why so many other scriptures are there? Because everybody doesn't want the essence. They want to enjoy in this material world. So we are at all different levels of consciousness. We are all not ready for pure devotional service, to surrender to Krishna like that. We are all not ready. That's why for different strokes for different folks, right? We say like that.
Or different shlokas for different folks.
Different slokas for different folks, yeah. So because everybody is not ready to, because we are in the material world, and material world, everybody is not ready to go back home, back to Godhead. So, so that is why there is also provision for them also. They are not rejected by Vyasadeva. So, but to elevate them slowly. So he has written all these different scriptures. So Vyasadeva is very compassionate, right? He doesn't say this or my way or highway, or like only this is the way, right? Or get lost, you're doomed. No, if you can't do this, Krishna also says, if you can't do this, then do this. If you can't do this, then do this. If you can't do this, then do this. So he's very accommodative. He presents the highest, but at the same time is very accommodative. So that's a good, yeah, teacher will encourage the student. Oh, we also say like that, no? If you can't chant 60 rounds, chant one round. Chant one round, okay? Or even if you can't chant one round, okay, chant 10 times Hare Krishna mantra every day. So something like that. So you encourage. So Krishna is like that. He's encouraging Vyasadeva. Krishna also says, Vedanta Krit, Vedavid Eva Chaham. I am the compiler of Vedanta Sutra and I am the knower of the Vedas. Therefore, the ultimate objective is Krishna. That is explained in all Vaishnava commentaries on Vedanta philosophy. We Gaudiya Vaishnavas have our commentary on Vedanta philosophy called Govinda Bhasya by Baldev Vidyabhushan. So there is so much knowledge, right, about in Vedas, there's Ayurveda, Dhanurveda, so many different kinds of knowledge, which is required for our living. And the ultimate knowledge is to escape the cycle of birth and death. Ayurveda is required here, not in the spiritual world. Because in spiritual world, there is no disease. So all this other knowledge is given here in this material world because we have to live in this material world and we have to do our things. So for our smooth sailing, this knowledge is described. But ultimately, if you go back to the spiritual world, you don't need all this knowledge of medicine and engineering and all these things is not required. Because there is no need. So ultimately, we can live happily here in this world and then also develop bhakti and go back to the spiritual world. So, and this is, we may say, well, I will miss the material world, but we will not miss. Who will miss repeated birth, death, old age, disease, and all the struggles? Nobody will miss. If you are in sane state of mind, nobody likes this. Disease, old age, death. Nobody will miss this. So, but very fact that we have been in this material world for so long, we have become accustomed to it. And we think this is natural, death is natural, old age is natural. But actually, we don't want it. That's why we try to avoid it as much as we can. So, death. And because we don't want to die, we will take all the medicines and try all kinds of, remedies to save ourselves. So, and because we think also there is no, sometimes we don't have the faith that I will live beyond this body. Although we say, but I'm eternal. So we have to understand that I will live beyond this body. And my existence is not dependent on this body because I am soul. And the soul's existence is not dependent on this body. whether the body is diseased, I will continue to live. So this is the first instruction, right? Then we can talk about other things. So because we are too much in the bodily conception of life, that's why we think I'm going to die. When the body dies, I'm dying. But actually you're not dying. But to come to that level of the soul, and then it's by spiritual practices, by associating with those who are in higher consciousness. And when you come to that consciousness, you are fearless, because you actually know that you are not going to die. So we Gaudiya Vaishnavas have our commentary on Vedanta philosophy called Govinda Bhashya by Valdev Vidyabhushan. Similarly, Ramanujacharya has a commentary and Madhvacharya has one. The version of Shankaracharya is not the only commentary. There are many Vedanta commentaries, but because the Vaishnavas did not present the first Vedanta commentary, people are under the wrong impression that Shankaracharya's is the only Vedanta commentary. Because Shankaracharya wrote before Baldev Vidyabhushan, so they think that that's the only commentary. Prabhupada is saying. Besides that, Vyasadeva himself wrote the perfect Vedanta commentary, Srimad Bhagavatam. Srimad Bhagavatam begins with the first words of Vedanta Sutra, Janmadi Asya Yataha. And that Janmadi Asya Yataha is fully explained in the Srimad Bhagavatam. The Vedanta Sutra simply hints at what is Brahman, the absolute truth. The absolute truth is that from which everything emanates. So we are towards the end. This is a summary, but it is explained in detail in Srimad Bhagavatam. If everything is emanating from the absolute truth, then what is the nature of absolute truth? So all this big universe, right? Our universe with all these planets, where did it come from? Where did it come from? So it came from Krishna. Yeah, otherwise we may say it came by chance. Scientists may say it just came out of nowhere. How did all this mass, this so much water in the Pacific Ocean come from? Where did it come from? How was it formed? So everything has come from Krishna. And that is what we have to have faith, that there is a creator, there is a person behind this thing. There is an intelligence behind these things. Otherwise, how did my body get designed so perfectly? How is my brain working so perfectly, right? With so many neurons, and how is it working? We don't tend to think, we take it for granted. But if you examine, Prabhupada would say, if you examine the minuteness, right, how everything is so well crafted and so meticulously designed from a microscopic to the macroscopic level, then you will not, if you are a careful observer, then we will say, yes, there is some intelligence at work here. And intelligence means there is an intelligent person. Intelligence doesn't mean just without anybody, somebody possesses the intelligence, right? So everything's emanating from the absolute truth. And what is? And another way to look at it is the nature of absolute truth also must include everything. If we are having personalities, why would our source not have a personality? Then we would be limiting the source to just impersonal, right? We would be negating something, excluding something. So in the ultimate, as we understand from Bhagavatam, ultimate truth is a person. And that person is Krishna. So if you are convinced about this, then that's the success of life. And you have a relationship with that person because you are part of the person. So you naturally have a relationship with that person. Now, who created that person? That's not a valid question. We are all eternal. And Krishna is also eternal. Krishna and his energies exist eternally. So we were always in existence. Although we say Krishna is our source, but we both exist simultaneously. Which verse in Bhagavad Gita Krishna says like that? The soul exists forever.
Natvayavaham Nathom neme janadipa. न चेवा न भविष्य सवे वयं तप.
There was never a time when I did not exist, nor you, nor all these kings. Never will there be a time in the future. And another verse, Krishna says, Aja, Nitya, Sashvato, Yam, Purano, Na Hanyate Hanyamane Sharire. Says like that. He has not come into Nayam Bhutva Bhavita Vana Bhuya. He has not come into being, will not come into being, like that. It's described. Na Jayate Mriyate Vakadachin. So we have never taken. So Krishna is there. As soon as sun is there, sunshine is there. So as soon as Krishna is there, his energies are there simultaneously. We cannot have sun. Sunshine emanates from the sun, but both are existing simultaneously. So that is how we are. But sunshine is coming from the sun, right? So that is explained in Srimad Bhagavatam. So if you are convinced, Prabhupada once asked his disciples, are you convinced that Krishna is the Supreme Personality of Godhead? If you are convinced, then you will surrender to him. And we can take over the world in 18 days, he said something like that. So that's why Prabhupada named his society also International Society for Krishna. This is the beauty of Vedic literature. It tells us who God is in such great detail. But sometimes we may have doubts, right? Oh, really? This God is a person? So that's why Prabhupada, many times when there is a explanation about the impersonal and things, he will give a very big explanation how the impersonal conception of God is not the perfect conception of God. So, and his prayer also says, Nirvishesha Shunyavadi Paschatya Deshatarine. He came to deliver this Western world. Everywhere it's there, impersonalism. So God is a person and we can have a personal relationship with him. The absolute truth must be consciousness. So Prabhupada is saying absolute truth must be conscious. He is self-effulgent Swarat. We develop our consciousness and knowledge by receiving knowledge from others. But for him it is said that he is self-effulgent. Means we have to get knowledge from somebody else. But for him, he has all the knowledge, self-effulgent. The whole summary of Vedic knowledge is the Vedanta Sutra. And the Vedanta Sutra is explained by the writer himself in Srimad Bhagavatam. We finally request those who are actually after Vedic knowledge to try to understand the explanation of all Vedic knowledge from Srimad Bhagavatam and the Bhagavad Gita. Okay, so Prabhupada sometimes would say 5 books are enough, right? What are the 5 books he said? Let's see. Sometimes he would say 5 books are enough. It is not about more knowledge, but it is about conviction in the knowledge. How much we are convinced and how much we are ready to, act on that knowledge. So sometimes there's 4 books are enough for preaching. So because we don't have so much time in this. But we read also. Prabhupada also said you should read the books of all the other acharyas also. Sanatan Goswami and like that in the first canto of Bhagavatam in a purport he has written, right? These acharyas have written commentaries, so we should read. But first we should read Prabhupada's books before we read the commentaries of different acharyas. Okay, so what is that we discussed so far? Who is a Dvija Bandhu? Now somebody can say.
Friend of a Brahmana.
Friend of a
What?
Brahmana.
It's not a twice born.
That is Dvija, is twice born. And Dvija Bandhu, Bandhu means the friend. So
No.
Prabhupada says, who friend means he is born in a high family, but he does not have the qualifications of his high family. He is not qualified. He is born in the family of Brahmana, but is not qualified as a Brahmana. It's called a Dvija Bandhu. Which is okay because, right, by birth, I'm born, my parents are doctors. So, am I a doctor automatically? No. I have to get trained. So the Brahmanas would send their sons to Gurukul for training. So you have to be trained. So that is training. Like there is Sadachar, Vaishnav Sadachar, and so many things. You get training on how to control your senses. The qualities of a Brahman are mentioned. Okay. What do you think would be a quality of a Brahmana? One quality?
Shamadama
Pathan.
Huh? What is one quality you can say?
So that Pathan Pathan Yejan
Yeah.
Yajan.
Pathan. They are studying the scriptures. So if you, we may have been initiated as a Brahmana, right? Second initiation, but just by wearing the thread, it doesn't mean that you are a Brahmana. But you should have the qualification. And what is that qualification?
Shamadama tapasacham shantirajamami jnana vijnanastikyam brahma karma svabhavacham.
Control of the senses, equipoised, we are austere, very clean, samadama, tapa. Austere means, austerity in like devotional service, not otherwise. Saucham, very clean, samadama, tapa, saucham, shantir, arjavam, very honest, tolerant. Jnana Vijnana Astikyam. They have knowledge of the scriptures. They have realized knowledge, Vijnana. And these are Brahma Karma Subhavajam. So, yeah. They are learned basically. They have Gyan. That's why they say Bhakti Shastri. Sometimes they say for second initiation you require Bhakti Shastri. Because you have to know, right? But of course, if you are serving the Supreme Personality of Godhead and you have faith, even though you may not have knowledge and you may not be learned, still you are recognized. Who was that? Who didn't have knowledge but was recognized?
Isn't there Brahmana in the South India?
Yeah, that Brahmana in South India. You know the story, right? He was not very learned. He could not read Bhagavad Gita. But he had natural devotion to Krishna. So that is, ultimately it's devotion. It's not even learning. But if you have devotion, then good qualities have to manifest. That is also Bhagavatam is saying. Yes, all the good qualities manifest in the person who has devotional devotion to the Supreme Lord. So as we advance in devotion, good qualities will manifest. Many times Prabhupada would say like that. There may be repetition in the qualities. In the 12th chapter, he writes in the purport that, these qualities we try to cultivate, but automatically engagement in devotional service will automatically give the... There is, sometimes you'll say there is no extraneous endeavor. Let me see where it is. So we try, it's not like we don't try, but he say here. 12th chapter, he says, even in Nectar of Instruction, first verse, he says like that somewhere. So we may find some repetition in the description of the qualifications of devotee. But this is just to emphasize the fact that the devotee must acquire all these qualifications. Without good qualifications, one cannot be a pure devotee. One who is not a devotee has no good qualification. One who wants to be recognized as a devotee should develop the good qualifications. And he's describing all the qualities. Tulya, Ninda, Stutir, Mauni, all this. Of course, he does not extraneously endeavor. Means outside of bhakti, he does not like separately try to endeavor for this. But in bhakti, he tries. Doing bhakti, he tries. Of course, he does not extraneously endeavor to acquire these qualifications, but engagement in Krishna consciousness and devotional service automatically helps him develop them. So, Krishna Eka Sharanam. So, we chant Hare Krishna and take shelter of Krishna, then automatically all the qualities will develop. Okay.
I think in Chaitanya Charitamrita, he said that Kiva Vipra Kiva Nyasi Sudra Kenya. I mean, he's saying that those who know the Krishna Tattva say Guru Hoy.
There is one thing to know, and then another thing is to realize, right? From the head to the heart. So, yeah, knowing and realization are two different things. What do you say is realization?
Knowing and then applying.
The ability to apply what you know is called realization, So the very fact that you are applying means you have realization. Otherwise, it's just knowledge. And realization means you are convinced, right? We are convinced meat eating is bad. We won't even look at it. It's gone deep inside our psyche. We won't even look at it, right? Oh, this meat, we are not hankering for it. We have realized that it is not good for me. So that's called realization.
Krishna consciousness is a joyful process. We have experienced some taste in our services and bhakti.
Yeah, that is also realization, right? If you experience chanting Hare Krishna is joyful, you got realization then. But then there are degrees of realization. So, yeah, we may experience some time. Narad Muni is experiencing all the time. He is also. So, realization can be deeper and deeper and deeper and deeper and deeper based on the purity of our heart. So, taste and realization comes by Krishna's mercy. Knowledge you can get. Of course, knowledge also is Krishna's mercy because Krishna says, Matta smritir jnanam apohanam cha. This knowledge comes from me. To understand this knowledge also is one thing because sometimes you don't even understand. We don't even understand Krishna consciousness properly. But to understand is one thing, and then to actually feel it, apply it, it becomes a part of you. Right?
Even Hiranyakashipu is speaking Bhagavad Gita in Srimad Bhagavatam. Even, Ravan knows so many scriptures.
Yeah, though we don't quote. Hiranyakashipu said in the 7th canto that we are not the body, we are the soul. We don't say ever like that. Hiranyakashipu said while talking to Hiranyaksha's wives in the 7th canto that we are not the body, we are the soul. No, we say Krishna said that in the 2nd chapter. So, like that. So, there's a philosophy and character, you can speak so much philosophy, but if it is not into action, and this is for me, I'm saying also, then it's just lip service. Right? It's just speaking all the things. You don't really believe what you speak. If I say sense gratification, yes, it gives rise to misery. Yes, one should not. And then you see me after some time, who is engaged in this? That means I don't have enough realization. Although I speak, but I don't have that realization. That so that is what it is. So speaking is easy, but actually applying and actually feeling it in the heart. That's where we want to come to. Okay. So it's already 10:30, close to. So we'll stop here. Anything else? So we will, like we did nectar of instruction, I think 2nd verse. So we'll do 3rd and 4th verse tomorrow. Then there'll be an exam. So you please, if you have not memorized the verse, then you please send that and I'll send you the exam after some time. Okay. Anything else? It's Damodar Kartik month. Any nice thing about Damodar you want to share? Everything is nice only. Anybody?
it's a month where we can do more and more chanting, more service to come closer to Krishna. It's, it
What do you
amplifies
find so
whatever.
most interesting in Damodar Leela? What is the thing that you find most interesting, or nothing is interesting, or amongst the non-interesting things, which is the little bit more interesting?
I don't think there is any non-interesting because we keep hearing this year by year, and it's ever refreshing, and we get higher taste. The more we listen to it.
Anything that anyone would like to share about Damodar, which you find very touching or
We
very
the
sweet or something, huh?
devotees are more enthusiastic. Every devotee is like they want to do more and more bhakti devotional service. So we all inspire each other,
It's a deep dhan, Prabhuji, that very, very nice.
Yeah, those are the practices that you are supposed to do in this. But in Damodar Leela itself, in the pastime, is there anything that you feel this is very inspirational, or there is very something that you...
For me, I like the part that when Mother Yashoda tries so much hard work, she's doing a lot of parishram to bind Krishna. And so that's a lesson that we have to be determined. And that's a hope also that if we do our endeavor and if we determine to get Krishna, Krishna ultimately bound by our love. So that part is lesson, and I like that. And on the other side, I like that how Krishna, who is the controller of whole unlimited universes, and who can bind Krishna, but Krishna has everything. He's a master of all the opulences. He's Bhagwan. But just for he's stealing his butter, and he is hankering for love of a devotee. So that hankering for the love is giving us hope that we can give all love to the Lord, and Lord will be bound by our love.
Okay, nice. Anything else? Otherwise, we'll stop. Yeah,
Yeah, Prabhuji. So, mercy is there on the devotees, but mercy is there on everyone in this month. So that's really nice and inspiring. Something like, Ramtirtha Prabhu was sharing, he will also share tomorrow in the Sunday feast that even if you take shower, that's a benefit. There is a benefit for that. So it doesn't necessarily even have to be directly applicable. You don't have to be personally serving Damodar, or even little bit you do. There is so much of, what was he saying? That mountains of sins are wiped out just by doing even little bit. So shows that, how even devotees should have that quality where, just try to engage everyone, even little bit, you still show so much compassion.
Like Yashoda was engaging all the other gopis in tying Krishna. That is a Sankirtan movement. We have to ourselves engage in service, but also spread the word around. That's what we are doing. Home programs, so many new people are hearing, and we are, for the book distribution, we'll ask everybody passing by to do the deep dan, even though they don't know the benefit, but unknowingly doing that, we're increasing their sukriti.
Yeah. So one thing also we hear that Yashoda was going to make the butter herself. She is so much she has so many maid servants in the house, but she wants to make it with love. So whatever we do for Krishna, it has to be very nice and done with love. So she took even though she had so many other maid servants in the house, it is good to engage, but our personal sadhana whatever we do, it should be done with, like Mahatma Prabhu says, right? There is no bad round of the Maha Mantra. When you chant, it's a good round. There's no bad round. So whenever you do anything for Krishna, you have to do with so much, like she chose the best milk, Padma Gandha cow milk for Krishna to make butter. So attention to detail is a sign of love. So we have to do with the right attitude, right consciousness. Whenever we do anything, we do it with our full heart in it. Otherwise, if we are tired, then we can sleep, take a nap or a snap, as Prabhupada said, and then get up and then do it like after that, so that we will offer it in the best of our consciousness. So we just don't want to go through the chores, like, okay, I have to do this, I have to do. Whenever we are doing it, where we are offering a lamp, our full focus should be like on, yes, I'm offering my lamp of love to Krishna, please accept. Like that, Yashoda is also teaching us.
But also, Amrinda Prabhu was saying, if I'm falling asleep while chanting, even though I'm struggling, I'm continuing to chant. And that's what Yashoda was also failure fatigue. And
yeah, correct. That is also true. Yeah. But we want to offer good thing. So naturally, if we are chanting whole day and so many rounds and things like that, oh, naturally, then it's okay. But if we are chanting or whenever we are doing our service, we should do it with as if my life depends upon it, right? We say like that. So then it will become like more attentive and more absorption, more attraction will come. Like we say, attention, absorption, attraction, like that. So we do it with the right attitude and the right consciousness. So yeah, but if you're doing all the time, then obviously we'll be tired. 24 hours we are doing, then some things will be tired. But if you're tired also, then we should take enough rest and then get up and do it so that we can do it nicely. That's what I was thinking this morning also. Yashoda's, how she, of course, she was thinking maybe our butter is not good, but she put all her love while she was churning the butter. She was remembering Krishna and everything. She was putting all her heart in the making. That is what we say Krishna tastes. So we do all, of course, it may fall short because we are not perfect, but I am making all my effort, right? So in this month, we can be like determined like that. Okay. I mean, everybody will have different realizations. So everything is valid. So it's not like this is just what I was thinking when I was chanting.
And we are making butter. When we are chanting Hare Krishna, we are churning our heart to make butter. So when our butter or when our heart is as pure like butter and soft in compassion and humility, then Krishna comes and steals our heart with his sweetness. And this whole Leela is showing Krishna's sweetness, naughty activities. Which God I was saying in my lecture, which God in any scripture has these naughty pastimes? It's only Krishna. Even Lord Ram, Lord Nrsimhadev, no other Lord incarnation has naughty activities. Krishna's butter stealing pastimes are so sweet, all to attract our hearts. But our hearts are not getting attracted because it's hard as rock. Because of our material desires. It's like iron, rusted iron.
That's
iron.
where pray. Yeah. There where prayer comes, because I have no attraction, Krishna, but you please help. Yeah.
Yeah, Prahlad Maharaj gives this example of iron attracted to magnet. Krishna is a magnet. Iron should spontaneously be attracted, but we are rusted. We have the rust of lust. That's why all these past sweetness of Krishna is not attracting us.
Yeah. So we have to control our mind and like bring our mind to Krishna. Okay, so we'll stop there. Thank you very much for your association this morning. We'll continue tomorrow with the first verse of Isopanishad. Hare Krishna.
Thank you, Prabhuji.